E-learning with NUT Endomorder Science School, Mina.
Good day, I'm happy to meet you. Today, we'll be discussing the subject area of numeracy. Numeracy. Before we are going to bring out the topic, I would like you to bring out your writing materials. To be precise, your mathematics notebook with your pencil. All right, are we there? Now you write the date, today's date. Okay. Have you done that? The date. You write the subject, numeracy. Subject, numeracy. Subject, numeracy. Topic. Topic. Two-dimensional and three-dimensional shape. But hold on, before we discuss about the topic, find a sheet of paper or your workbook. You draw a rectangle. Are we there? All right. Now the longest side of the rectangle is the length, isn't it? The longest side of the rectangle is the length. The length is the longest side of the rectangle. Now the shorter side is the breadth. The breadth, yes. Breadth. The shorter side is the breadth. Okay. All right. Now in the rectangle there we have the length and the breadth, isn't it? The length and the breadth. That is, the first dimension is the length. The second dimension is the breadth. Yes. All right. Now we have two dimensions there, isn't it? So today we'll be discussing on 2 and 3 dimensional shapes. 2 and 3 dimensional shape. Now let's take the first one, two-dimensional shape. Two-dimensional shape. Now you can see it on your screen. We have two-dimensional shape. A shape that has a length and a breadth only is a two-dimensional shape. A shape that has a length and a breadth only is a two-dimensional shape. You can copy that. Now you can see the rectangle there. It has the length and the breadth. Just exactly what I asked you to do on your workbook or on a sheet of paper that I ask you to draw a rectangle. The longest side is the length, the shorter side is the breadth, isn't it? Now we say two-dimensional shape. Any shape that has length and breadth only, that shape is classified under two-dimensional shapes. Examples of two-dimensional shape. Examples of two-dimensional shape. The first example here we have the rectangle. The rectangle is one of the examples of two-dimensional shape. The second one here we have the circle. The circle is another example of two-dimensional shape. The third one we have the square. The square is also an example of two-dimensional shape. The rectangle, the circle, the square. Now let's have the picture or the structure, the diagram of a rectangle. So we have a circle, we have the square. All right. Three-dimensional shapes. 3-dimensional shapes. Now, what is 3-dimensional shape? A shape that have 3 dimensions. Any shape that have 3 dimensions, that shape is called 3-dimensional shape. The dimensions are the length, the breadth, and the height. A shape that has the length, the breadth, and the height is a 3-dimensional shape. That is, it has 3 dimensions: the length, the breadth, and the height. Now we are going to look into the length, the breadth, and the height. You can see it there, right? Now let's move to the examples of 3-dimensional shape. Okay, now one, you have the keyboard there, we have the cylinder, we have the cone. Those are the examples of 3-dimensional shapes. Examples of what? 3-dimensional shapes: the keyboard, the cylinder, and the cone. You have the keyboard, you have the cylinder, and you have the cone there. Those are the examples of 3-dimensional shapes. All right. Now, as I said earlier on, I said today we'll be looking into 2- and 3-dimensional shapes. And I say that the 2-dimensional shape is a shape that has length and breadth only. A shape that has what? Length and breadth only. Example of 2-dimensional shapes are rectangle, square, and what? Triangle, isn't it? We have the rectangle, we have the square also, and also we have the circle also. They are the plane shapes are what? 2-dimensional shape, plane shapes. All right, we have the triangle, we have the square, we have the rectangle, we have the circle. They are what? 2-dimensional shapes. All right, now we also discuss on 3-dimensional shape, where I say the 3-dimensional shapes are shapes that has 3 dimensions. That is, they have the length, the breadth, and the height. Examples are the keyboard, cylinder, and the cone. Now let's have a homework. Differentiate between 2- and 3-dimensional shapes. Differentiate between 2- and 3-dimensional shape. 2. Draw 2 examples each for 2- and 3-dimensional shape.